everybody, welcome to Dandelion Cottage and Paper Crafting Saturday. I'm Leslie Watkins. And today I'm going to be showing you a very cute little treat box for children. And this is a Christmas themed item. I know it's a little bit early, it's not Thanksgiving yet, but we've got to start sooner than later if we want to get all of our surprises ready for our family, our grandchildren, and all the people that we want to give gifts to. So I have a little announcement to make. Next week, on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, that's November 25th, I'm going to be starting the 12 Days of Christmas. So every day at 12 noon, I'm going to bring you a different project. And I'm kind of excited about it. I've already begun designing them, and some of them are quite beautiful, so you don't want to miss that. And there will also be prizes and giveaways throughout those 12 days. So please tune in right here, 12 noon, every day for 12 days, starting November 25th. So let's get started on our project today. I'm going to be using this stamp set, and this is called Gnome for the Holidays, and it's very cute. It has these little gnomes, a little gnome house, or gnome home, I guess you would say, and these sentiments. And I'm going to be using the little treat box die, so this die that comes with this set. And I've already cut that out ahead of time to save a little bit of time. And I have some designer series paper here. This is from the Hugs. What is it? Let's see what the name of this paper is. It's called Heartwarming Hugs, designer series paper. And I like this because the colors that are used in it are Mossy Meadow, Pear Pizzazz, Real Red, and Whisper White. And I wanted some Real Red and Mossy Meadow, so that's how I came to select this particular paper. And I just cut these strips, and these measure 1.5 by 2. So I've got 2 of those, and then I've got another one which is also 1.5, and this one is 4 inches long, and I've scored it at 1 3/4. Okay, and so here is our little treat box. And then I have some scraps here. This is Old Olive, and this is the Mossy Meadow. And what I've done is, using the sprig punch, which is a great punch to have. If you don't have this, you might want to take a look at it in the catalog because it's so useful. You can use this year-round, but at Christmas time it really shines, because if you want to make some quick tags or cards, and you just want to add a little bit of greenery around the edges, you can get these great little pieces. And what I've done is I've punched them out in the Mossy Meadow, and also I have some in the Old Olive, and that's so I can get a little bit of dimension to the sprigs as I layer them up. Let me see, can I get one more out of there? Just. Okay. All right, so I think that's it for the paper and for the cutting out. And I've also gone ahead and I've punched out, I've stamped out some images. so this is the little house, and I've got the little gnome lady punched out twice. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to color them in with some blends. So these are alcohol markers, and I've got a selection here. So I'm going to grab this red. This is a dark poppy parade, and I'm not being too matchy here with the coloring. And I'm just going to go around, give her a little red dress. I hope my, oh, sorry about my head in the camera there. Here we go, let me zoom you in a little bit so you can see better. Alright, so there's her dress. Get her sleeves. And just going to color in the baubles on her tree hat. I'm going to do this twice. Here we go. And now I'm using, this is the light mossy meadow, and I'm using the brush tip. I like using the brush tip. I'm just going to color in so there's one. Do the same over here. And I stamped the images with Memento black ink. Right, and then now I'm going to switch to the fine point because there's some very tiny little holly leaves on her apron. So I'm just going to fill those in. And I'm going to get those berries. There we go. And then for her face, I have light petal pink. And that is very light. The blends are available in two colors, a light and a dark. So I can take the dark petal pink and I can just put a little bit of extra color on her nose and under her hat. Okay. And I think I'll give her some green shoes. Alright, so there's our little lady. Oh, I forgot the star. So for the star on top of her hat, I'm going to be using light Daffodil Delight. And also over here. Okay, so that's our coloring done for the lady. And now I have the gnome home. And so for this, I'm going to be using soft suede, and I'm starting with the light. Oh, I want the brush tip though. There we go, and I'm just going to go around the lights and the door. Here we go. So these blends are especially nice when you want to get a very smooth result without any little lines formed by the actual strokes. And now I'm going back in with the dark soft suede. And I'm just going to add a little bit of shadow area here and there. Okay, and there's some pieces of grass poking up, so we'll get those. Couple of leaves. And then I'm going to use my light Daffodil Delight again for the light inside. And I'll do a couple of these bulbs. One more. And that's our coloring done. I guess I should do something with the doorknob. Let's see. I'll use the dark soft suede. There we go. Okay, so that's our coloring done. Move these out of the way. And now I'm just going to do a little bit of fussy cutting. So using my snips, I'm going to go around the outline. And I'm getting pretty close to the image here. I don't want to leave a lot of white edges. Cut that off. And when you do your fussy cutting, it helps if you just sort of squeeze your snips gently as you're spinning the paper around with your other hand. And I see a spot I missed, so I want to go back and get that little light bulb spot. Alright, so there we go. Just going to get the top of this. Alright. I'm going to try the dark Daffodil Delight in here. I like the light. Okay, good enough. Now, taking my Mossy Meadow ink pad, I'm just going to, and if you know me, I think you know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to take my sponge and I'm going to go around the edges and knock down that white outline. Okay, so that's one way you could do it, but let me show you another way. You can also use your blends. So if I take the brush tip of my Mossy Meadow, I can also just kind of flick that around the edges just like that, and that'll work just the same. And actually it's a little bit easier to get into some of those little crevices. Okay, now let's get back to our lady gnome. So here she is. I didn't give her any hair color, I guess. All right, I'm just going to grab this light Daffodil Delight, and she will be a blonde for us today. Okay, and then the same thing. Get you in the camera here. I'm just going to go around and cut her out. So does everybody have your holiday plans and activities disrupted? Are you keeping it small this year? In my little extended family, we generally keep it small anyway. But I think that this year it's going to be even smaller, less people than usual. But we'll probably do some virtual visiting via Zoom. And I'm sure that there will be different food supplies and treats sent back and forth as to share. But I think it's really, this is a very important time to be more careful than ever. And that's what we're doing. But on the upside, it means that you can make more beautiful homemade gifts for people. And maybe take the extra time to write out more Christmas cards with your personalized sentiments to everybody. Let them know that you're thinking of them. All right, now this other one, I'm just cutting out the tree. You know, if you have a computer and you get yourself a Zoom account, there are all sorts of really fun things that you can do with people. There are games you can play. We're going to be playing bingo here with friends. We're going to have a girls' night in, and everybody's invited. If you'd like to join us, you're perfectly welcome to do so. We're going to have a crafty girls' night in where we can make a series of projects and then have some fun playing bingo, and all from the comfort of your home. So you can grab yourself some snacks, your favorite beverage, and just get ready to have a lot of fun with friends and sharing with no worries, because it's all virtual. So you might want to think about doing something like that. If you're interested in joining my girls' night in, I'd love to have you. Here's my website. And if you go to the online classes page or the events page, there's two different places. You can see what's coming up. Oops, wrong end. I want the brush tip. You can see what's coming up. And if you'd like a copy of notes sent to you, please subscribe, and I will email you a list of of all of the projects and events that are coming up each month. And I've got a lot of things. We've just started the watercolor card club, which is going great. And I've got a bunch of people that have participated, and they're going to be getting a new lesson each and every month, and you'll learn how to paint a different subject in watercolor. So this current one is autumn leaves. You get a card pack in the mail so that you can make several note cards, and you get all the information you need to know about how you can make some beautiful handmade, hand-painted note cards. In December we're going to be doing holly, and maybe a little surprise extra just as a Christmas gift from me to you. All right, so here are our adorable pieces. Bring them up so you can see them a little bit better. Okay, and this would make a great gift for kids or grandchildren. If you have little ones in the house and you want to help keep them busy and making things for the holidays, this might be a fun idea. So here's the mini treat box, and I'm just going to fold up on all these score lines. And this goes together really easily. So I just want to find my bone folder and give that a nice crisp edge. There we go. Let me zoom you out a little bit so you can see better. All right. And this simply goes together by putting these tabs into these slots. Very easy to do. And I like to add a little bit of liquid glue. Keep it all together. There we go. Just fold that up. Make sure those edges and slip my bone folder in there. Okay, now on this side, make sure that tab is in place. On this side, I'm going to put the glue here. And then taking my 4-inch piece that I've already scored, a little bit of glue on here. I'm going to put that in there just like that. Okay? And I'm keeping this even with the top over on this side. And get that centered. Okay, now if you have a B block handy, these fit in here perfectly. And that gives you a nice little surface that you can press down on. There we go. Okay, now on the outside of the box I have these other little panels, so I'm just going to put those on. And I've got one for each side. And I'm just giving that glue a couple of seconds to set up. All right. And on the front of our box, I'm going to put the little gnome house. And I'm putting that up near the top because I want to leave a little bit of room down below here for the front of the house. Let's just get that straight. And now I'm going to grab my mini dimensionals, excuse me, and on this little Christmas tree, add a couple. Peeling off those backs. I'm just going to put that right near the front door. So there's her little Christmas tree. And then on the inside of the house, I'm going to take my little gnome lady, and I've got the regular size dimensionals here. And I think I'll put a little one for her hat. There she is. And she can be inside her little house, like so. Now, excuse me. Oh my goodness. This is what happens when you're home by yourself a lot and you're not talking. You lose the ability. All right, so I'm going to take some of these darker sprigs that I punched out earlier, and I'm just going to put a dimensional. These are the mini dimensionals. So I'm going to put one here, and I'm being careful not to cover up the slot for the ribbon. And then I'm going to use a glue dot for the second one. And again, leaving a little space for that ribbon to slip through there. And then I'm going to take a light one and just layer that over. Actually, you know, I'm not going to do it. I think, well, I know what I'll do. I'll put it over here. There we go. Perfect. So there is our little hidden gnome house in the forest. I've got these red rhinestones, and I'm going to add a bunch of them to my little tree. Get that on there where I want it. There we go. Now I'm not going to do those ones on the sides because I think that's just going to be a little bit too much. Well, maybe this one down here. There we go. I'm going to snip this leaf off so we can see the little window. And there's the outside of our little treat box. And it opens up to have the lady inside, but we're not quite done yet. I have the real red braided trim, and I have the diagonal stripe ribbon. And I think I'm going to go with the diagonal stripe ribbon for this one. Either one would work well. And I'm just going to cut off a length of ribbon. Now before I close up my little box, I want to put my treat in there. So let me go grab my treat. And I have 2 pieces of the Ghirardelli Intense Dark Chocolate. Let me zoom you out a, oops, too much. Let's find a happy medium there. Okay, so I'm just going to tuck those into my box. And there's the little lady on the inside, so cute. Just carefully thread that through. And the other side. Now you can either loop it through so that you can hang it on the tree, or tie a bow, and I'm just going to tie a bow here for today. I'll trim that end here, give it a nice point. There we go. All right. So there is our adorable little gnome home treat box for Christmas. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that gives you some ideas. This set is really extremely versatile. I'm going to be using it again next at some point in the 12-day Days of Christmas series. So you'll see some more ideas that you can use with this really cute set. So again, this is what it looks like. And maybe we'll just do a quick tag. Let's go with Holly Jolly Everything. So I'm mounting up my stamp on the block, and I'm just going to grab some of my real red ink. And I have a scrap piece of paper here. There we go. Quickly cut that out on my trimmer. And I think I'll put a little flag on one end. And just using my hole punch, and I think you can see how quickly and easily you can make these little tags. I'm just going to loop this around. Poke that through there. All right, and I think since I have so many of these little sprigs ready to go, I'll just pop one of those on there as well. There we go. Now we've got a tag to go with our little box. All right, that's all for today, folks. Thank you so much for joining me. This is really a cute box, and I'm sure that anybody that you give it to, whether it's young or old, that person is going to be very happy and excited to have this beautiful little treat box. This would also be great for a place setting at your table. You could put a little name tag along with it and fill it with your chocolate treats, or even some money. If you want to make it a little gift box for a money gift, that would work also. So have a great weekend. I'm looking forward to seeing you on Wednesday for the beginning of the 12 days of Christmas. And I hope you stay well and stay creative.